Hola amigos, hola amigas, welcome, bienvenido, croeso y salam, welcome to the channel y'all. Today we're going to be doing a Retrobriting video, as you would have seen from the title. Now my friend Chris from the Laundry Centre, links down in the video description below, gave me some parts that he would like me to retrobrite for him. I have the faceplate here for a Ultima 1400 micro profile WM43, along with the hot point front. I've also got some old knobs that he wants me to retrobrite. So we're going to have a go at them, and they are yellowed to buggery. And I've also got the buttons as well from this micro profile. So they're going to be retrobrited all at the same time. So I've got everything I need set up. Let me bring you guys a bit closer because I need to explain what I'm going to do. So when I'm doing retrobriting, especially for fronts like this for washing machines, I have this really lovely long plastic container that deals with it really well. And what I normally have been doing is putting a piece of Perspex that I have here over the top of it, but it doesn't exactly fit, so I thought, right, let's make use of this. So what I've done is drawn around the outside of the lamps for the size, and I've kind of roughly drawn an inner part. So what I'm going to be doing is cutting that out. Like so. Try not to break it too much, and then I can cut them out. So I'm going to crack on with doing that. Now that'll be absolutely perfect for putting those on top like so. So yeah, that's really good. There'll be no gap, so the UV light will be able to get straight through. Right, now I've done that, so that's my box sorted. I'll put that down to one side. What I need to do now is clean these up, because some lazy little tow rag just gave them to me and didn't clean them. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go in the kitchen and clean these up, and then come back to you and we'll start retrobriting. Okay, so now I have everything nice and clean and washed. I'm going to move on now to the container. First thing I'm going to do is put down some cloths. Next thing I've got is this heat mat used for vivariums. I was going to say ovariums. I don't think so. Keep your ovaries warm. Vivariums. And I'm going to put a cloth over that as well. I find that keeping the solution at a warm temperature really does help with the reaction. So first I have to see what's going in, or what will fit in nicely. So that fits in. That fits in. Yeah, they fit in. And my next battle is keeping this all weighted down, because if you don't, then it's a bit of a nightmare. So I have these fishing stones that I use. They're bloody brilliant. And it's just working out a way to attach them so that they don't float, doesn't make the thing float up. I've also got these surgical scissors that help. So it's just finding a way to keep it all floated down, weighted down. Covered in so many air bubbles. Whilst they're retrobriting, they float like mad. 2. My surgical clips there. 1 for me to get it through. 2. My remaining surgical scissors to try and weight it down. That might just work and be the easiest way. The other things with it that I have to retrobrite, which are the buttons, I just don't have enough of anything, so I'm just going to let them float around. Okay, so we are all set up. Hydrogen peroxide 12% food grade. So whenever you're using this stuff, always use your gloves. Don't get any on you, don't get any anywhere. It won't initially burn possibly, but it will burn your skin after a while. So I'm going to pour in all of this, make sure I've got everything. Oh, actually, there is something I didn't do yet. Ta-da! I need to wrap the sides in foil. Now I'm gently going to pour in the solution. I don't know how many containers it will take. 1. Almost 4 there. That is much better. And I'm just going to use little pieces of foil. Now I can place the first lamp on. And the second lamp. Okay, everything is now switched on. The Vivarium heat mat, I'm going to have it on half, I'm going to have it on full. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
So everything inside now will start cooking. After 30 minutes I will turn the heat mat down to low and leave it, and this is it. This is just going to take 24 hours now. I will have a little peek at it before I go to bed. I have all the equipment here in the workshop. Smart smoke detectors, heat detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, everything to monitor any changes I will be alerted to. Ideally, do not try this at home. Do not do what I do. I am just showing you my own personal process for the retrobriting. So you all saw what they looked like before. Let's leave it now and see and come back at some point in the future. Okay guys, it has now been literally 24 hours. I turned the electric off about an hour ago to let the solution cool down a little bit. But it is now all finished. So I'm just going to move the lights off. I'm going to move that away. Let's take the lid off. Let everything drip down. I'm going to wipe off the excess from this plastic, and then tomorrow I will rinse it with a hose just to make sure it's all gone. I don't want to get any on me. Right, and wow, the difference on these parts is amazing. These knobs look like new. If I take the scissors off, I'm going to put all of these in here to rinse out. They are now back to their brand new colour, and none of the lettering has faded. I do love doing retrobriting, I have to say. Oops. Sugar. Look at that. Fantastic. All these little buttons as well, they're all nice and clean. Look like new. This is the door. The detergent drawer front, I should say. Using the heat mat underneath definitely does help when it increases the temperature. Look at that, like new. There's another bit there. I can see some buttons down here. Let's get that weight out. Another button there. Let me just take this fascia out. Or I should say washing machine front. Yeah, fascia. Wow, that looks amazing. So if I just put the detergent drawer on just for you to see, well, it looks like new. It's incredible. Right, I'm going to get these parts washed, pour this back into its containers, put everything away, and I'll come back to you and we'll take a look at that in a minute. So there we go, guys. That is the parts start again. So there we go, guys. Those are the parts retrobrited and looking much, much better than they did when we first started. The only one thing that I will say is that the lettering, not this paintwork, but this lettering has lightened ever so slightly, as you can see. Now, that's never happened before. That's okay. So I'm going to leave it dry for a few days, but unfortunately I can still see everything, but it's definitely a lot less prominent than it was, unfortunately. But it's brought up the plastic, so yes, it's retrobrited it. No, the lettering has become weaker, unfortunately. So I don't know what to say about that, but it's successfully retrobrited. So there we go. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, y'all. So I've just been editing this video and putting it together, and the ending, I was really disappointed actually at what had happened. So let me just explain. Once it had been retrobrited and I'd taken it out, the plastic and everything was still warm. So I rinsed it off, and what I did do, and what I shouldn't have done, was wipe it dry. I should have just rinsed it off with cold water and left it to dry for about another 24 hours before wiping it. And then, you know, it would have been fine after that if I just let the ink re-dry back onto it. So if you are going to do this, it doesn't, I haven't had it, the retrobriting process didn't affect the lettering. It was my fault, because after, I should have left it to dry for 24 hours when not touching the lettering, and then it would have been fine. So this is not an exact art. This is trial and error. Thankfully, I didn't wipe off all the lettering. It's definitely faded. It's not knackered, but it's not as good as it was when I took it out of the solution tank. So if you are going to do this, it's not an exact science, and you just have to take it out, rinse it off, make sure the solution's rinsed off, don't touch it, just rinse it gently under cold water, and then leave the pieces to dry for 24 hours. So that's where I went wrong. So next time, hopefully it'll be 100% perfect and I won't bugger it up completely.